June 17, 2015. It's a bright, clear summer day over London. Suddenly, something dark plummets from the sky. It crashes onto the roof of an office building in the quiet suburb of Richmond. It's a human body. There was no parachute, no warning, no plane reported in distress overhead. The police are completely baffled. Who was this man? Where did he come from? And how is it even possible for a person to just fall out of the sky? The answers would uncover one of the most astonishing and tragic stories in modern aviation history. This incredible story begins thousands of miles away, in Johannesburg, South Africa. British Airways Flight 54, a massive Boeing 747, is preparing for its routine overnight journey to London Heathrow. On board, there are over 200 passengers settling in for the long 11-hour flight. The cabin crew are making their final checks, the doors are sealed, and the plane begins its taxi to the runway. Everything appears perfectly normal, but what nobody knows is that two men are not in the passenger cabin. They have no tickets, no passports, and no luggage. Driven by a desperate hope for a new life in Europe, they've managed to sneak onto the airfield and climb inside the wheel well of the giant aircraft, hiding themselves within the landing gear bay. It's a space not meant for human life, a dark and pressurized and unheated metal cavern. As the engines roar and the 747 lifts off into the night sky, their incredibly dangerous journey begins. They are now stowaways, gambling their lives against impossible odds. For the next 11 hours, Flight 54 cruises at an altitude of over 35,000 feet. The temperature outside plummets to a deadly -60 degrees Celsius, and the oxygen levels become almost non-existent inside the landing gear bay. The conditions are unimaginable. It's colder than Antarctica, with a thin atmosphere that can't sustain consciousness, let alone life. The two men are trapped in total darkness, enduring the deafening roar of the engines and the brutal cold that seeps into their bones. It is a flight into the very edge of human endurance. As the sun rises over Europe, the Boeing 747 begins its descent into London Heathrow. The city awakens below, unaware of the drama unfolding thousands of feet above. As the plane lowers its landing gear for the final approach, the doors of the wheel well open. One of the men, likely already unconscious or deceased from the extreme conditions, falls out. He plunges through the air for several seconds before his body hits the rooftop of the office building in Richmond, just 14 miles from the runway, down on the ground. The scene is one of shock and confusion. A witness who was sunbathing in a nearby garden saw the object fall, initially thinking it was just a piece of debris. When police arrive, they are stumped. There are no immediate reports of anyone missing from a flight. No aircraft has signaled an emergency. The identity of the man is a complete mystery. How could someone simply appear from the empty sky? It was an event so bizarre. It felt like something out of a science fiction story. But this was only half of the story. Back at Heathrow, as Flight 54 safely touches down and taxis to its gate, the ground crew makes a discovery that defies all logic. As they conduct their post-flight checks, they find the second man. He's still inside the landing gear compartment. Miraculously, against all odds, he is alive. He is unconscious and suffering from severe hypothermia, but he is breathing. He had survived the entire 11-hour flight in conditions that should have been fatal within minutes. He was rushed to the hospital in critical condition. Doctors were astonished. They called his survival a miracle, something that medically shouldn't be possible. To survive for that long at such an altitude, with virtually no oxygen and in freezing temperatures, is an unprecedented feat of human resilience. He had journeyed for 5,600 miles tucked inside the belly of an airplane and had come back from the brink of death. While one man's journey ended in tragedy on a London rooftop, the others had ended in a medical miracle. The investigation that followed tried to piece together this incredible puzzle. Who were these two men? Authorities believed they were from Angola and had traveled to South Africa with the sole purpose of stowing away on a flight to Europe. The survivor, once he recovered, remained anonymous, and details about his identity were never publicly released. His companion who fell was eventually identified, but his story remained a testament to the desperate risks people will take for the chance at a different life. The incident was dubbed by the media as the story of the man who fell from the sky. But even with the main facts established, some strange details lingered. Aviation experts pointed out that a body falling from that altitude should have been picked up on radar, but it wasn't. The aircraft itself showed no signs of damage or interference, which seemed odd, while the official explanation remains a tragic stowaway incident. The sheer unlikelihood of it all has led some to question if there was more to the story. Was it simply a desperate act, or were there other factors at play that we will never know? In the end, we are left with a powerful and haunting story. Two men ascended into the sky, chasing a dream. One was lost to the clouds, a ghost who fell back to earth. The other endured an ordeal that no human should survive and returned to tell a tale, though his story has remained shrouded in silence. This isn't a legend or a myth, it's a real event that highlights the invisible struggles and desperate journeys that happen all around us, even in the skies above our heads. The story of Flight 54 is a stark reminder of the extremes of human hope and the unforgiving reality of the world. Thank you for watching. If you found this story as compelling as I did, please like this video and subscribe to the channel for more incredible true stories. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. See you next time.